Hey, what's going on? Max here, and what I wanted to talk about in this video here is how to run successful split tests. This is an important topic when it comes to optimizing your email marketing. A lot of people seem to think with email marketing, it's just sort of there's this secret formula that you apply to your flows and your campaigns that'll take you from 0% or 5% to 30% of your revenue coming in from email marketing. And that's not how it works. And generally, what the process looks like, to take you from, say, you're getting 0% of your revenue coming from email to 30%. What that process looks like is just a series of 1% improvements over time. Just making these small adjustments in the right direction that sort of, stack on each other over the course of a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then at a certain point you hit an inflection where things start to increase parabolically, and you get a huge return on the time you have invested in your email marketing. But really what these 1% improvements come down to is split testing. So that's what I'm going to be covering in this video here. But before I do that, if you'd like to book a call with me, for 15 minutes, have me take a look at what you guys are currently doing and what you can improve, and have me take a look on a one-on-one basis. I'd love to do that. Click the link below this video here, book a call, and I'd be happy to see what you guys can improve in your business. So without further ado, how to run successful split tests. So before we dive into that, there are three main rules that you need to keep in mind regarding split testing. So number one is going to be, you'll only want to split test one variable at a time. All right. So why is this important? So when it comes to split testing, there are some people who take the approach of testing two completely different emails against each other, and you don't want to do that. The reason why is because, let's say one of them outperforms the other, you can't really come to any, data-driven conclusions off of that, because, they're two completely different emails. Like, what exactly is causing the difference in performance there? It could be the subject line, it could be the content, it could be the offer in the emails. You have no idea. All right, so the only way to really come to any decisive conclusion as to what works and what doesn't is to keep the tests pretty much constant, except only changing one variable at a time. So number two, there must be a significant difference in performance to come to any real conclusion. So let's say that you're testing, doing an A/B test, and you're testing one variable across two different sort of emails, right? Let's say that what happens is you get a 20% open rate versus a 21% open rate. All right, so in this case, that's not a significant enough difference. It could just be due to sheer coincidence. You can't really come to any conclusions there. So what I would do is either keep keep the split test running for longer, see if anything changes, or B, just end the split test early. And the conclusion there is it just didn't make a significant enough difference, so it probably doesn't matter. All right, so number three, the difference between the two variables must be significant. You can't just be testing something really minor, like, oh, like what emoji should I use in the email, right? So it generally has to be a variable that will make a big enough difference. Let's say the amount of time that you wait between emails, or the actual subject line is completely different, or let's say the angle that you're taking from the email is completely different. Or another one too is the offer is just different. You're offering a 10% off discount versus a buy one get one free type of thing. All right, so make sure that the difference between the two variables is actually a significant difference, instead of just a really minor, like, oh, like, should I use a comma versus an exclamation point or something. So here's an example of a split test that we ran. Basically the main variable here was we were testing the amount of time that we send the email after the flow was triggered. All right, so what we did was we tested sending it 2 hours after versus 5 minutes, and here were the results. So as you can see right here, the 2 hours got a 28% open rate 5% click through and 2.7% placed order rate versus, on our split test B, we got a 35% open rate, 9% click through, and 3.8% placed order. Oh, and of course, a difference in revenue of almost $1,000. All right, so this is a hugely significant difference in performance. It's almost 50% as far as the actual revenue we generated. We only split tested one variable, the time that we sent the email, and of course, the difference in performance is significant. So that's generally what you want a split test to look like. And of course, the greater process of optimizing your email marketing is just going to be a bunch of these. So this would be considered a successful split test because we can come to the conclusion, fairly confidently that sending it 5 minutes for this particular client was more effective than sending it after 2 hours. And of course, this could change depending on the client. For instance, some clients they do better sending it later, right? So taking a look at this actual flow that we split tested it on, this was the actual variable that we tested it. And yeah, so we'll come back to that here in a second. But side note about the abandonment series, because that was our abandoned cart flow. What you want to do is you want to start with 2 emails, then add more later. The reason behind this is because there's a common misconception that, oh, like 1 or 2 emails gets me, let's say $5,000 in revenue. So sending 4 emails will get me even more revenue, and it's true once it's all built out, generally more emails will get you more revenue than less, but you don't want to start out, with like 4 emails or something, all right? Because that'll hurt your email deliverability, generally speaking. So why does that matter? All right, so when you send it out, you also have to pay attention to sort of the engagement rate of your emails. Do you have a good amount of opens? Do you have a good amount of people clicking on your email? The reason that's important is because your email service provider is also monitoring the engagement rate of your email. So if you get a poor engagement rate, then they actually punish you by sending your emails more often into the promotions tab, or God forbid, into the spam folder. So you want to avoid that at all costs, because if you're landing in spam, then your email marketing ain't going to work, and it's going to be really hard to resuscitate your emails, right? So what you want to do here is start with less and then add more as long as the metrics remain within KPIs. So what does this look like? So you're going to start off with 2, sort of set them at, like an amount of time within this range here. And then if these 2 are looking good, people are engaging with it. With KPIs, generally what we like to go for is 20% open rate and 1% click through. That means that your emails are performing decently well. Then you can add on a 3rd email and see if it performs. If that performs, above KPIs, then you could add another email and so on. All right, so that's generally what the process of adding more emails, is going to look like for you. So 70% of your split test will involve copywriting, and that's because one of the most difficult things to get right in email marketing is speaking to your audience correctly. All right, so this is something that you sort of acquire over time as you see what resonates more than others. And what the process usually looks like is you'll put out a few different angles, and one of them will usually resonate with your audience much more than the others. And once you crack the code with one campaign or one flow, you'll have a much better idea of who your customer avatar is, and sort of what kind of messaging they respond to. And then you sort of start to transcribe those insights onto the rest of your emails. All right, so it's not something that you kind of usually come in, like, even if you have a good idea of who your customers are, you might not generally know how to approach writing emails to them right away. And this is sort of the process that you want to take. You want to also split test the sort of angles that you're coming from as far as your copywriting in your emails, and really split test it that way. And then once you get a generally good understanding of what they respond to, then you sort of take that approach in all your future emails and sort of apply it to all of your current emails. So there you have it. That's how you run successful split tests in your journey to optimize your email marketing. So hope this video was helpful. If you'd like to hop on a quick 15-minute call with myself to see, sort of take a look at what you guys are currently doing as far as your email marketing and how to add up to 30% more revenue to your business each month through email marketing alone, click the link below, book a call with myself. I'll hop on, see where you guys are at and what you guys can do to improve. But other than that, really appreciate you watching this video. And last but not least, I would love your feedback. Let me know if this helped you at all. If it didn't, let me know what sort of content you would like to see instead. And yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.